Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. My wife's followers, hello again, and I'm grateful to all of you who watch these videos, who are part of this community, and I'm just so grateful to have this little community. Today's video, you'll be able to tell from the thumbnail as well, how to live the right life. Now only you can define that. That's the thing. The first tip on this is only you know if you're living the right life. Sometimes and to be fair though, there are no right or wrong path. There's only a path which right for you. There are things we could look at that are morally wrong, like if you're doing something that hurts someone, including yourself, then I would say that would be wrong. But when it comes to are you living the right life, how to live that is something only you can define for yourself. And sometimes you've got to understand, so we're going to talk about how you're living the wrong life, okay? So if you live the wrong life, if you're unhappy in your life, you're unhappy, you're unjoyful, you feel trapped, stuck, you feel like your life's out of balance, everything's everywhere, chaotic, you've hit rock bottom. Lots of people with have addictions, bad habits, that I've spoke to, met, or sometimes that comes up in my reading. These people have hit rock bottom, and they break, they lose themselves in their addiction. They do, and they lose themselves in addiction. And anyone can become addicted to anything. Anyone can become addicted to anything. Anyone can adapt bad habits. And there'll be a lot of people that say, and I always laugh when people say this, there's two things that people will say with addictions, with that. But when I say I laugh with understanding, because it contradicts. So people will say they're happy doing the addiction they're doing, but they're not truly happy. It might bring a bit of in the moment, a bit of joy, a bit of happiness, but they're not. They're not happy doing that. They also might say they're not hurting anyone, but they're hurting themselves. And when you live the wrong life, you'll be like a prisoner. You'll have an addiction, a bad habit weighing you down. You'll feel like you're in a little box. You'll feel stuck. You'll feel like there's chains around you. You'll feel mixed emotions. So there might be a bit of happiness in the moment, but you won't feel truly happy. You won't feel truly peaceful, because real happiness, real joy is a choice to be happy, but the real joy and happiness comes from within. It comes from within. And you will feel trapped in your life, and you'll feel that bad habit, that addiction, that situation is weighing you down. Some people are addicted to even relationships, so they end up getting into a trail of bad relationships. And the key to avoid that is self-love, to love yourself as well. But how do you know you're living the right life? Well, that is something only you can define for yourself. You've got to really ask yourself, am I living the right life for me? And this, if you're living the right life, if you really feel happy in your mind, like you're thinking good thoughts, if you think good, you feel good, you emotionally feel good, you also know you're living the right life if you don't feel trapped, but you're not a prisoner, but you're not in a box, you've not got any addiction controlling you, you feel free. So you're living the right life, because these are just a few things, so some signs you're living the right life. Number one, you feel happy in your mind, body and soul. You feel really happy. You've got balance in your life. Things are sorted. Things are working in an organisation which is right for you. And you don't feel trapped, like you don't have these visible chains around you. It's not to say if you've got any trauma that you can't work through that and find freedom and wisdom. It's not. But a lot of people, when they're living the wrong life, they feel trapped. They've got an addiction. They're in a domestic relationship. They don't feel they don't feel themselves. And, you know, also when you live in the right life, you'll feel free. You will feel free. You'll feel happy within yourself. You will feel free. Truly free as well. You will feel free in all ways, you know, emotionally free. You'll feel less stress, less worry. There'll be a lot of balance in your life, and we can all create balance. And when you're free in life, you realise that life is what you make it. You know, everyone's life is a book, and I'm not one for living your life by a book, but life is like an empty book. Life is like a notebook, and most of us, we can't control how our story began. We can't control who our family are. Sometimes that's a blessing, other times maybe not. But we can control how we deal with family. We can control who our friends are, and how we deal with them. We have so much power that we're not aware of. And this is what Hecate has taught me herself, you know, taught me. But everyone has power over themselves, over their own life. We all have sovereignty. And you know you're living the right life when you're happy inside. You're happy in your mind. And if you feel good up here and you control your mind, because as Buddhism, there's a good teaching in Buddhism, it's so true. If you can't control your mind will control you. So it's so important to control your thoughts, your way of thinking. And the mind is the mind is a door and a key to so many things. But by controlling your mind, you'll feel emotionally good, and then you'll physically feel good as well. But you'll also feel in charge of your life. When you feel free, you feel in charge. You feel free. You feel no drug, no addiction, no habits got control over you. You feel so happy, so joyful in life. You've got so much balance in your life as well. Now that's not to say, though, that's not to say if you're living the right life for you, right? If you're living the right life for you, because only you can decide. It's not to say you won't go through difficulties, but also I feel when you live in the right life, you become enlightened, you know, like you become very wise. And we're here to learn, essentially, you know, we're here to learn lessons, to have fun, to enjoy ourselves. And when you're living the right life, you define it for yourself. You feel happy in your mind, body, soul. There's so much balance in your life, and you find enlightenment and wisdom. And I feel a lot of people, when they find spirituality, because there's a lot of people I've spoke to, they find spirituality through trauma. There was one time I was in Roma, down in Motherwell. I don't know if some of you might know of it, some of you won't, but it's down in Motherwell, and there was a woman in there. She had a beautiful crystal pendant on, and I was interested, like, is she a witch or that? Because I felt this energy of, and I did ask, like, about a crystal necklace, and then I spoke about my practice, they spoke about theirs. They were also a tarot card reader, and we spoke about Goddess Hecate, who she did work with. And I feel Goddess Hecate brought this woman into my life for a time, and we spoke, and she had a lot of, like, drug problems. She was also in a lot of unhealthy relationships, but she talked about how witchcraft saved her life and how Hecate helped her in different deities as well. So it was a wonderful conversation with this person as well. And, you know, it was so enlightened, you know. And to me, like, even though that person still has their struggles, their issues, by finding witchcraft, by working with Hecate, by finding wisdom and enlightenment, that also helped her live the right life as well. And the key to living the right life is simply, you know, it's something you define for yourself. And it, you know, because as I've always said from the beginning, I don't like my advice would always be, always think for yourself, always ask why, and always trust your intuition. Those would be my three sort of advice, because I'm not one of those people. I might give instruction, but I would always say, like, this is to give you some ideas, some inspiration, but you should always think for yourself and always ask yourself, because what works for me wouldn't necessarily work for you. And that goes for like if I done a spell and shared it with you, it might work for me but necessarily won't work for you, but it might give you some inspiration to create your own spells. But in life, in order to live the right life, it all starts with loving yourself, you know. And I think it all starts with becoming wise. So you know you live, and to finish this video, how to live the right life well. It starts by listening to your intuition and asking yourself that question: am I living a life true to myself? And that's how you live the right life. Are you living a life true to yourself, true to your beliefs and values? And do you feel you're living the right life? Are you happy in your mind, body and soul? Are you truly joyful? Are you free in life? Do you feel free? Do you feel free? Are you working on personal growth and self-love? Are you learning and expanding your consciousness? Because a lot of these things will help you live a more, when I say right life, a more balanced life which is true to you. Because we should all ask ourselves that question. This is the purpose of this video, to really say to yourself, right, based on what I feel in my mind and heart, so am I living the right life? Am I living a life true to myself? That is the question you should ask yourself. Am I living a life true to myself? Am I free? Do I have any addictions, any bad habits, anything weighing me down what I should work on removing from my life? Are there any people, situations I should be removing from my life? Do you feel happy, joyful, truly free? Do you feel, are you working on loving yourself and personal growth? Are you working on expanding your mind and knowledge? Because we can all do that. You know, we can all work on loving ourselves better, focusing on making our dreams come a reality, focus on personal growth is something we can all do. We all do that, and we can all learn. You know, we can all learn lessons, and we can all grow as well. And that's the purpose, you know, and how you live the right life is something you will define for yourself. And to me, it's something that the purpose of this video is to really get you to ask yourself that question. It's something, a good thing to meditate on, to journal about, you know, and to see, like, do you feel in a good place mentally, emotionally, physically? Are you free? You know, or are you a prisoner? And this is another topic I'll talk about as well. Are you a prisoner in life as well? And it's one of those things, I'm not one of those people who say, oh, if you must do it this way, you're going to get in trouble. No. Sometimes maybe I'm a bit like that depending on the subject, but I always encourage you to think for yourself, trust your intuition. And the purpose of this video is to really get you to think, like, how to live the right life well. Ask yourself, am I living a life true to myself? That's where to start. Am I living a life true to myself? Am I truly free? Am I happy? Truly happy? Am I joyful? Do I feel like $1 million? Do I feel good? Have I got balance in my life? Balance. And, you know, always, you know, and am I working on self-love and personal growth? And am I learning to better myself? And that's how you know you're living the right life, when you focus on bettering yourself and living and focus on becoming the best version of yourself. However, until next time, as always, this video is just to talk, just to give you some inspiration, to get you to think for yourself and to inspire you. And I hope this video does. And until next time, have a great day. May part meet again. Blessed be.